going on? My name's Alan Cox. Thanks for being here. That is my real name. There was a conversation being had earlier out there in the suite with some salespeople who were shocked to find out that there are some people in radio on the talent side who don't use their real names. And apparently some of our younger sales staff were just blown away by that. You think if you've grown up with the likes of PewDiePie, figure it out. Nevertheless, say hi to Bill Squire, also his real name, sitting right over there.
Creepy hugs, everyone. Thanks for listening to and watching this episode of the Alan Cox Show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. A cold one with the boys.
Mary Santora is here.
Hi, guys. What's up?
The Mary Santora.
Also my real name.
And Poundcake, want to take a guess, is back in Studio G.
Afternoon, white people.
But we all know your real name, Cody Helpful Brown.
Yeah.
Cody Allen Helpful Brown.
Well,
And if you'd like to join us on the phone, boy, none of us would argue with that. 216-578-1007, 800-348-1007, 35192 if you want to send me a text. I'll see those there. If you listen on the iHeartRadio app, there's a little talkback button there. You can leave us quick messages as well. Some JDubs out here on the corner. Did you see the Jehovah's Witnesses?
No.
Oh, yeah?
Back here at Euclid and 9th.
What
why
they
you call
doing?
them JDubs?
JDubs.
I've never heard that before.
I just made it up.
Oh.
They might want to adopt that, by the way, though, if they're trying to get down with the kids. Well, I was doing my pre-show lap, and a couple of guys are standing there, appropriately diverse. It's a white guy and a black guy. And they're standing there behind a thing. They're right next to the guy at the weenie cart on Wednesdays. A guy down here on the northwest corner of Euclid and 9th got a weenie cart out there. And he's selling his wares. And across the sidewalk from that, or, a couple of steps away, a couple of guys that are standing there behind a thing and says free Bible lesson or free Bible course or something. First of all, that sounds redundant. There's no way anybody should be charging for anything like that. Nevertheless, these guys, and I almost walked up to them to see what they were doing because I figured that would be more shocking than everyone walking by them all day long. They're out there, either putting in their time, they're trying to do whatever that, what do they call that? Mary, what do they call that when proselytizing? I mean, they're not out there reading from the Bible. What do they call that when they're trying to?
proselyting.
Recruitment?
Yeah, you're proselyting.
I've never heard
Proselytizing.
that word.
Well, proselytizing, I always think of somebody standing on the corner screaming from the Bible, the end is nigh, that kind of thing. These guys are just standing there talking to each other, not causing any problems.
I know what you're trying to
And
say.
the only reason I knew it was Jehovah's Witnesses is because they had a website on their sign. It said jw.org, and that's Jehovah's Witnesses. And but
That's what we would do as Mormons. Is proselytizing.
Conversion.
no.
No, not conversion.
Well, conversion comes from proselyting.
Proselytizing leads to conversion. That's right.
To recruit. Yeah, but see, that's not the word we use, though.
Well, that's why I was asking you, because in the evangelical community, it's called something else. Not outreach, not fellowship. It's, I don't know, who cares? But they were out there, and again, like I wasn't going to be a dick, but there was enough of me that was curious as to like what they were offering. If I said, "Hey, what's going on out here?" and but I'm sure they're on there. They probably have a little bit of a, they're probably on the lookout for jag-offs like me walking around too. And I didn't see anybody talking to them, but I
Sir, did you know you are a jag-off in the eyes of the Lord? Would you like to change that?
yes,
Like-
of course I do. I grew up Catholic, and everything we do is awful and terrible and sinful. So yes, I'm well aware.
Well, how
Thank
would you like all that without birthdays and Christmas?
Right, or serving in the military? So I wasn't so curious as I was going to stop down and start chatting these guys up. But they're standing there in suits, and usually when people think of Jehovah's Witnesses, they think of the young bucks who come door to door. And there's because now everybody has a Ring camera on their door. There's all kinds of video that will go viral from people's homes because you can easily bring it up on an app. If you want to share it, you certainly can. And there's no barriers to entry for people who want to throw their video all over the place. And there's a great video that goes around every so often of these two Jehovah's Witnesses, typical young guys in the suits and ties walking up. And the the welcome mat at this particular house, and you only know this because the owners put it in the caption, the welcome mat is the gayest house in the neighborhood. And so you see these two guys walk up, knock on the door, and then while they're waiting, you can see them look down, and then they just kind of walk away. They're like, okay, well, this is not going to be the person that we're probably looking for. I always think of Prince. Prince was a Jehovah's Witness. Was Michael Jackson's family Jehovah's Witnesses, Poundcake?
They were.
So, yeah, I don't know what that has to do with if there's any connection between that and performance. I guess I could have asked these guys about Prince and Michael Jackson, but it didn't.
How much do you think they know, though?
Didn't spring to mind. I'd
Is
certainly
that part
hope.
of their training?
Well,
Famous Jehovah's?
How many famous Jehovah's Witnesses? I would think that these guys would know chapter and verse, if you'll pardon the pun, on MJ and Prince.
I mean, up until, not recently, but still when Michael Jackson was a big star, his mom was still going door to door knocking on people's doors trying to recruit them. So if I saw Michael Jackson's mom at my door trying to recruit me for Jehovah's Witness, I don't know, I might convert.
Right. If anybody follows, speaking of Michael Jackson, there's a great photo series on YouTube today. I put part of it in my story on Instagram. Street Art Globe is a great follow, and somebody did a photo series called As If Nothing Happened, where they used AI and a little bit of artistic magic to age celebrities who died young. So there's Princess Diana. I posted Freddie Mercury. There's Kurt Cobain. There's Elvis. If these people had lived long and prosperous and healthy lives, Jimi Hendrix with a huge old man's fro, Michael Jackson's in there with like a 70s mustache. It's pretty wild. I don't know if this thing's making the rounds. I saw it on the Street Art Globe Instagram account. Freddie Mercury, boy, if this guy had lived and had looked like this, holy mackerel. This guy would be on, he'd be an old Queen.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, he'd be from an old band called Queen, and he would have been, who knows, he might have, in an alternate universe, might have outlived the other guys. It might be Brian May who was dead, and Freddie Mercury who was out there in his suspenders and his ascot. This is what I would like for Poundcake, because we joke about how he's going to die at 35, but I happen to think that he's going to beat the eternal wisdom of the Ouija board and live a long, prosperous life. And I'd like to see you become an old, dapper, where you're wearing like the ascot and you've got the big collared shirts. That's what I would like.
So you want me to be
Adopt a new style.
You want me to be like how fancy dresses now?
I don't know how fancy dresses now.
Well, that's why we call him fancy, because that's the type of stuff he wears.
I see. Well, then, by all means, yeah.
I can't think of this friggin' word, and it's driving me nuts. Because they used to tell us to go do it in church. Make sure you're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I texted my brothers. They'll know. But if they say proselytize.
Proselytizing.
By the way, that attention to accuracy, the Mormons were the ones that saw that doormat and went away.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I didn't know Mormons went door to door.
What are you talking about? That's what I did.
You went to the Philippines.
Yeah, but that's what
in
they
the
do
Philippines.
here. Yeah.
You guys
That's
will
what
go door to
tradition is.
I've never had Mormons come to the door. I've had plenty of Jehovah's Witnesses come to the door.
No, Mormons go door to door. My brother
Wow, I
did it
didn't
in
know that.
Eugene, Oregon. My other brother did it in Germany, and then I did it in the Philippines. My dad did it in Denmark.
Well done.
Yeah.
So are there ever like fights over turf? I mean,
No,
how do they coordinate
it's
that?
assigned. I mean, everybody's got their...
No, but I mean between between the JDubs and the LDS.
No, there's not really
When you're a jet,
any success anyway,
Okay.
so it doesn't really matter.
There's a hierarchy.
Yeah.
That
No
just,
knife fights.
No.
All right.
There weren't any Jehovah's Witnesses in the Philippines, but in...
Probably wasn't for lack of trying.
Witnessing. You go and you witness to people.
You're probably right.
That's what it is. You go out and they tell
Harrison
you
Ford
you
did
should,
it in 82.
You should always be witnessing. So everyone you come in contact with, you should be-
ABW.
Yes.
Always be witnessing.
You should be witnessing to them your story of how great God is,
Put
and then that, will
that
convert
coffee
them.
down.
That's what
Coffee is for witnesses.
witnessing.
I've got to take a break now that we have solved the puzzle at the top of the show.
If I'm Whitney
all
Cummings,
pass.
that's what I'm telling my fans to do. Always be Whitneying.
If you want to text 35192, you can watch live at AlanCoxShow.com.